Greetings. We're going to go ahead and actually paint a mini today. Take a little break from the terrain. I just got to cut out some wall sections from cardboard, double corrugated. You can either make it yourself or you can get lucky and have a couple pieces out of like packaging or whatever for things. But so I printed out this mini and I put it on her base. I put it on the base pretty, not real tight. I only put a small dab so that if I want to, I can break her off and paint the whole base and then put her back on. It won't hurt anything, but just a note there. So if she does fall off, it's because I didn't put her on very tight. But she's not primed. I just printed her, like I said, just the other week. So here I've got a wet palette that I got. You want to use all your mini paints and stuff on the wet palette. The pigments are thinner and they dry out quicker. And what the wet palette does is prevents that drying out process by a few days to weeks, I believe, if you keep it watered right. All right, so anyway, I'm going over here and I'm priming her. If I paint on the resin, it won't come out as good. So, as most art projects, I'm priming her. And we're only going to focus on her. I'll probably use just about the same technique for that wood for her base that we did for the tavern. I don't know, I like the color of it. The good thing about mini painting is because the pigments are smaller, that dries out quicker, so you can do a lot of work on a mini in a fairly short amount of time. If you've only got 10 minutes and you've already got a wet palette set up for it, you're set, man. Just sit down, pop open your palette and go. Trying to go through and make sure that this primer coats as even as possible. Didn't miss any spots or have any kind of clump up anywhere. Ooh, make sure you get everywhere too. Her hair cracks were a little sus there. So now we get to let her dry for a few seconds. Shouldn't use this brush anymore. Like I said, that was strictly primer, and we're not going to worry about her little tray today or the base. We're just going to focus on her. What's going on, Jeremy? So, hang on a second. That one's working, actually. I guess that just shake it a bit. There you go. All right, so anyway, while we're waiting for her to dry, we're going to pick out what colors we're going to use on her. So there's a skin, but that's like a darker suntan skin. I don't think we want her too dark. I don't know if I want her fair either. We might just use a wash to kind of bring her down from being too fair. Yeah. rosy skin. I don't know, that one might be all right. I don't think ready is the way. All right, skin options. So she's got a dress. We'll just say the whole thing is her dress, and then she's got an apron. So the apron, I think the apron needs to go ahead and be white. I don't have a white in this. I have to use actual paint. And when I do that, well, I'd still put it on the wet palette, and I kind of water it down just a bit. There we are. Little Barmaid specimen there. Something simple, something small. I think I want to give her a blue dress. I don't know which blue though. We might use quite a few of these blues. Like I said, her apron I do want to be white, I believe. And again, I will have to go and get just a white from my apple barrel collection over there. And I will water it down just a tad. Like when I use it, my brush will be already wet from the paint. But I think blues for her dress, and then her hair. Do we want a blonde, a brunette, or a redhead? A dirty blonde? That's too dirty. She could have... Oh, that's really all I got. That might be... It's more of a brown. Would go good with the blue. Because I'm pretty committed on the blue dress, I'm pretty sure. That is how we're going. So we'll use those. And also, let's just see what the rosy skin looks like. I think the other two, the darker one's too dark, and I think this one's too light for a barmaid. She's not like a princess or anything that stays inside all the time. She works. I think we'll try with the brown hair and see what happens. We'll see what happens. So what I like to try and do is start as far in the picture as I can. So imagine you've got a sphere around it and you just shrink that sphere. The most inner point of it is where I start. So like, I'm gonna start with the skin and then build around the skin. So we're gonna go ahead and shake this up real quick. I'm gonna go look for that white paint while I shake this up. Actually gonna go ahead and grab a couple of them and shake them. Alright. We'll see if that worked. So she doesn't have a whole lot of skin. It's just a face and her arms. Like she doesn't have legs that are showing or anything like that. So like 15, I'm not gonna need, that's enough, that's plenty. The tiniest little drop. I am, however, going to keep, here, this is how, turn this around. So we will use see that primer is already good to go. But This is my brush. And we just paint. So the hardest part is starting, and after you start it kind of just goes. Especially if you have your colors picked out. If you don't have your colors picked out, don't worry. Pick them out as you go. Change them as you go. I may not like her dress being blue. I mean, it's unlikely, but there's a chance that I won't like it. And if I don't like it, I'm changing it, you know? So the reason you start, I don't know, the reason I start on like my inner layer, I guess, if you will, which is usually the skin, by the way. It usually ends up being the skin. I haven't painted much like creatures and stuff to have a reference for. But usually the skin. And you start there because, I don't know, it gives you a base. It gets paint on the mini. And again, that is the hardest part when you want to paint a mini, is starting the mini. You're afraid it's not going to look good. You're afraid you don't have the color scheme or whatever. Or you just don't, I don't know, have the time set aside for it. But once you get the color to it, once you get just the first little bit of color to it, the desire to do it is much higher. Because now it's a character. So the light that I use, this guy right here, is actually got a magnifying glass on it. And I use that sometimes. But for the most part, I just kind of, I can see it. It's not that big of a deal. It may seem pretty small, but where's that camera? There we go. Yeah, once you start, it just kind of goes. The paint starts falling onto the mini, and so when you rinse out your brush, you want to take it. You can use a paper towel or whatever, but drag it. Don't like wipe it on the brush. Drag it and kind of spin it on the towel. I mean, no wet. Drag. It'll preserve the angle of your painting brush. And for something this delicate, the angles are usually rather important. I haven't found a time really that I have been like, well, you know, I'm glad I ruined that angle. All right. So like I said, I used like 2 or 3 brush touches on that paint. And I mean, it's not like wasted, it's not, but that was just a drop. That was just one drop out of that bottle. So, paint a lot of minis at once, keep this wet or whatever. Oh, what the heck is that? What is this? There's a boob. I do believe a little gnat decided to try and take a drink, but got stuck. Anyhow. So usually, you want to start with your darker color. and then work your way up. These two look pretty dang dark. So which one do we want to start with? So that's one of these things is not like the other. As much as I like this one, I think we're not going to use it. I think these three will work better together. So those three as the three we're going to use. I may be completely wrong when I put it on the actual mini, but we will see. I'm going to shake these up real quick. Okay, I shook them. My arm's tired. We're going to move on and use Underdark Indigo. Just a dab will do you. I mean, maybe a little more for this one, but we can always just, put more. So start small, and we'll put the others later. That'll be that one next and then that one. And just start. Again, putting the paint down is the hard part. Once you start, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's gonna look great. Or real quick you realize, we gotta change colors there. We gotta abort mission on this. No problem. Let it dry. Paint over it. So the lady's playing, what's it called, 3 strikes. Puts the numbers in there. That's gonna look pretty good. I think that's gonna work fine. Looky there. So this set of paint that I have. First up, I made the stand just out of scrap cardboard. I'm telling you, once you figure out you can use cardboard for stuff, you can use cardboard for stuff. Little tasks, little things. But anyhow, I got it at a local local mini shop, actually. It's a game shop, I guess, if you will. They got like Pokemon cards in one room and then a bunch of minis in another. Really is all they have. But they had a, what was it, a 36, 20, 36, I think. I mean, it's all these except for these two and my primer and sealer. But all those came with it. And it's a good set. I really enjoy the paint. It's a D&D brand. But it goes on to the minis so easily, so smooth. Real smooth. Maybe not. I don't know how much I'm shaking this while I'm re-dipping for paint. I don't think it's too much. I think we're okay. I do plan to change the setup here fairly soon. All good things, all good things. Alright, so make sure we got some solid coverage. I'll so probably just put blue under there. There's a little hole under there where her dress is kind of flooshed up. We can get in there. This is a teensy weensy brush. It is no trouble. It is no trouble at all. Ooh, what a lady. The last one in line, that's what the highest bid was. Ooh, and it was, the highest bid was $635. And she was all like, $636. Of course, the winning number, it was 700 was what they're going for, so she wins. But she just got called up there. She was the one that got called down. So, I don't know, the way she looks, I think that's just like a waist apron, and I think the dress gets the rest of it. And that dress goes all the way up. She's wearing like a tough collar to it. So by Jove, that's what she is getting. Not much to say when you're high above the mucky muck. It's a song reference. We'll do that. Those will be things that we do. But I don't know. This is not difficult to talk about or during, but it's very easy to get lost in the painting instead of trying to focus on keeping up a conversation or a train of thought. It's very therapeutic, very enjoyable. If you've got a little bit of free time and enjoy stuff like this, I highly recommend. So now this is where I may actually bring down the magnifier so that I can get right up next to her skin with this cuff. And I'm going to go one good time around that apron on the bottom. Between fingers right there. Yeah, it's totally. Totally just the dress. She is got a collar on this dress. I guarantee you she ain't tolerating riffraff or evil shenanigans in her bar. That is a promise. She's not very likely to show you a good time because she is happily married with 3 kids to the barkeep, who is a barrel of a man that you probably don't want to mess with. But fate has a funny way of turning things. It turns out she's actually a level 7 fighter, and he's a level 3 cleric. And she is super loyal to her healer. I'm just going to get a little bit, little tiny touches right here and there. And then we are going to work on shadowing the elusive, the grubby little middleman between a decent painting and a holy cow painting. There's that right there. She's very, very, very delicate. Very delicate. She's gonna be real good. You know, come to think of it, maybe that primer didn't need to be on the wet palette, but hey, you'll be okay. One more little touch to the cuff with the teeniest amount of paint that I can get on this brush. And she'll be all right. Okay, maybe a slightly larger touch of paint on the brush, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, that's it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure enough, that touch was what we needed. Beautiful. Look, half painted. Going to clean up this brush real quick. Move on to our next blue. And this is something that I'm kind of trying for the first time. So we'll see how it turns out. Remember, drag and twist. It's, you kind of see it. This one here, yeah. Boop, boop. Swash, 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 swash. Drag until when you swash, it doesn't leave a color. This napkin should be fairly wet when you're done painting, if you use more than 2 colors. Okay, because we are going to another blue, it will be okay to have a little bit of that blue still in there. It's not enough to matter. What? Okay, so that was indigo. This one's going to be ethereal blue. Second bite. If you hear me breathing heavy, don't worry about it. All right. One little drop, calling it good. I'm telling you, because look how much we used for that one, on that one for this. It's not, it's negligible. You just dip it into the dang bottle. I don't know. There's just so much paint that you end up not using. Now, trying to highlight. Oh, it's dry already, by the way. Okay, what I was saying about you can just go. The paint's dry. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm pretty sure you just kind of paint on the elevated bits. Yeah, just paint on the elevated bits. Nice and easy like. All right, so that's actually not looking too bad. It's just kind of like little stripes, but because it is just a slightly lighter shade of blue, it looks kind of like shadow. It's looking pretty good. Like I said, it's not overbearing. It's just like one shade different, and it is definitely giving a flair to it. So on the ripples on the dress, it was fairly easy to just kind of hit what I wanted to be the high side. Everywhere else, I'm kind of having to just kind of judge where the light would hit. And just kind of highlight that area a little bit. Kind of just giving a little more flair to that, a little more juice. Kind of dry brushing this on here, and I'm kind of really liking it. Like I started out doing the lines on it, but now that I've kind of like progressed, I think, man, it's looking good. It's looking all right. But we are going to move on. I don't feel like there's enough paint in that brush to worry about rinsing it out. Again, just shifting blues. Doop. All right. So same process, same technique. Like it's the same thing, just a little more. I do want to switch brushes for that though, because I do want to actually dry brush that on there. So I don't think that I'm going to use anything that I've got here. Hang on just a second. Screen's going to shake. Oh, it's shaking so bad. I need a teeny tiny dry brusher. Teensy weensy one. Are you swallowed up? No. Yeah, I guess that's the. We'll see what happens. Give it just a touch. Okay. Ooh, I don't think I did right. I think I messed this up. Yeah, I don't think this is how I want to do it. So I really just wanted like flavor. Just slightest little hint of this color. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, I think. I think it looks okay. So we're going to move on to the hair, which I also want to try and give a little pizzazz. So I've got this dark brown here, and I want to accent it with probably I think that one. I think that one will do. Shaking my thanks, be right back. Soon I'll have to just cut this part out or pre-shake my thanks, because again, I'm going to use that skill saw. All right, let's slap down. I feel like I did that right. It looks all right. I like the way it looks, even if I didn't do it correctly. A touch of brown. Don't ever use more than a drop of paint. If you need more, get another drop. But don't be all like, zero reason for that, guys. Zero reason for that. You're doing nothing but hurting yourself. These paints aren't like super expensive, but they're not super cheap either. Alrighty, we're gonna paint this a brown. This brown is a little thin, so we will end up doing it twice. To ensure optimal coverage. Okay, we're okay. I still have it. getting his. I mean, we're getting in there. We're getting as close as I can just possibly get without, as I bring down my magnifier. We may do that every now and then just for the sake of my eyes. But I don't know, it just feels weird looking in here. It does work though. Dipping my paint was rather difficult, but that's okay. A new car. But I don't need it for like the big things. I just need it for right down in there. So I like this. I think she's gonna look real good. She's gonna look real good. Real good. I do find that bracing yourself on yourself helps with like pinpoint accuracy. Actually, it don't look bad with the primer coming through. I just think she's going gray. Hell with three children, she probably is, yeah? Anyway. Back to painting like a heathen. That was my heathen painting face. Clearly. Again, just kind of going over any spot that didn't take real well. It's honest, like I said, honestly, it's mostly dry already. Like going around. Kind of in the same order and pattern that I did to start with. So I haven't sealed my tables and stuff yet. I haven't sealed them in the gesso or the Mod Podge. I will seal her almost immediately because paint chips and nicks and gets off of these so much easier and so much quicker than anything I've ever encountered. Rubbing your hand on it just slightly too much and boom, you've lost definition on that hand or whatever, or on that piece of armor that you kept touching. So seal them quickly. Keep them secret, keep them safe. Why would you sit that on her hair? Like, they could have changed that. Oh well. Ooh. What? See my arm jiggle? Okay. She's coming along nicely. We want to do the white. All right. Too much. Too much. Oh no, I've been attacked. No. No. Go back. You don't want to have stray paint when you're doing minis. Like the setback that would happen if I was to grab her with that dab of white. I mean, it's not huge. Unless like you've done the face already and you caught her on the face. That's pretty huge, I think. These faces are difficult. Touch of white. Probably gonna do a couple touches of white, you know. But I've got this other character that has an apron as well. He's a cook, and I got his apron all dirty and grimy. Grimy and dirty. So we'll see about adding maybe a little grime. She's definitely got it tied around her back. I covered it in the blue to begin with, but I mean, that's why you go from the bottom in. Hey. We are going to try and get that, no. Just perfect. If you act fast, you can get little mistakes. I suggest keeping at least a little bit of a fingernail. Don't forget your edges. Very delicate. The very edge of this is right there next to the dress that I made that I like. Looking pretty good. Simple, yet effective. I don't know what I'm doing. Do we want to give her a little bit of grime on that? Where'd my... Oh, I wanted it up and threw it away. So how do we want to do this? Hydrate, friends. So I need a smaller brush. Much small, very small. We're gonna give her some crimson lips. And some dark green eyes. So, like, for real, I'm dipping it into this. I'm not. This, however, I will use my magnifier because this is mucho important. Boom, just the dot. Just y'all can't see that. Y'all can't see that. Shoot, that's pretty good. Light. I'll say that's pretty good. Yeah, yeah. Like maybe, trying to get just the tiniest little bit. Okay, maybe just another. I mean, just the tiny. I'm gonna mess this up. Like I said, I'm gonna mess this up. Poop. Poop. All right, so that's probably the main reason why you have a wet palette. Because I now need to go back in here. And I can go right now. It's not a big deal. With my skin color. And fix that lip. She looks fine. She's done. She's good. Leave it there. All right. Sometimes you got to just call it or else you'll mess it up again. All right. So we need to put the cap back on that. You want to do the white. You want to do the base white for the eyes or else it looks funny. It's pesky, but it has to be done. Something else I'm going to go back over with the skin color with, I'm sure. Jeez, I went bad on that. All right, it'll be fun. That'll be fun. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. It does not look fine. It does in no way look fine. The high dots are quite intense. Can you see that? I can't tell. I wish I could make it focus. I'm sure you can see, but anyway. It is, leaves a bit to be desired. Is it the inside of that? I'm sure is. Alright, so no big deal. I'm still going to go ahead and put my eye color. Wow. I think it was only $700 off on her showcase. Holy moly, and he was $200 off. Good grief. I didn't figure she'd be beat. That's crazy. Crazy. Alright. Get out of there, bubble. I want that green right there. Sometimes, dipping from the bottle, you don't get the actual color, so you gotta pay attention to that. No, I gotta cover that up. Alright. Alright, so I got the one. And then I'm gonna go back with the skin color. Let's see if I can't fix this. I don't know. I broke my hand in my paint. I think I don't need to try anymore, but That actually looks pretty good. We need to highlight the hair though. I forgot about that. I'm gonna straight for the eyes. One for the throat. Alright, give her another touch of white. Right there in that corner. She can't go 8 again. The only problem with using the magnifier is I can't judge my distances as easy. And back to the skin. Because I cannot leave this face alone, I must make it wrong and right and right and wrong. Fixed it. Do a little bit of that brown for that hair. I did touch the hair a little bit with the white. I don't like that. Okay. Back to the hair. Not using this brush. Which one was we dry brushing with? It was this guy. I want to do that again, but with this. So we're going to shake it up real good, real quick. Real quick, real good. That's actually a really good brown. What about that one instead? Yes. Again, we're going to go with the 3 paint method. So let's do this one. I didn't see him a second ago because he was next to my metallics. These black lids, I got bronze, or I got gold, silver, and, well, bronze, yeah, copper. All right. Just a touch, but we're going to have to go ahead and put this on the paper so that I can wipe it off the brush. Or else I would just do it right. For the face, I just dipped it out of the bottles. I'm not playing that game. Take it, wipe it, take it. Now, I don't want this brush very heavy, but we are going to just blast her. Just a little bit. Again, like I used that dab, but I don't need that dab, you know. Just need a touch. And then we'll see what happens. Ooh, that's pretty bright. I don't know how I feel about that. It is getting everywhere though. I don't know how I feel about that either. Okay, we're just gonna, I don't know. I'm unsure of the path to take, but I think her hair needs more. Okay, I don't think I have the right brown. I could use the skin brown, that'll work. That's a light enough. See, that was too far. This one should be enough. Yes, this will do it. This will do it. Again, getting it off the brush the best we can, because we don't want a lot of it. We don't want nothing. But we are going to, oh no, ruin her. Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. That works for the last color for the blue, but no, it's not working here. It's not working here. Good night. Oh, hey, cool. She didn't even come off the base. She just came out of the thing. Scared me, though. I'm sure you could tell. Dropping the mini is dangerous. You know, that kind of helps out a lot. No, it didn't. Okay, yeah, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. Part of the deal, everybody. Part of the deal. Wet palette. Okay. So let's be a little more delicate with this. So instead of going that was my base. That was my base. We just go. My middle brown didn't come out good. Came out all watery. That's more like it. That is what I'm talking about right there. Being just slightly more delicate, going in there with a little more tact. And I can really put down the highlights where I want them. Still kind of trying to wipe it off because I don't want it to be real strong. Yeah, no, I think, by Joe, folks, I think we're about done. I think we are just about done. I want to put something on her apron, but it needs to be just like a touch. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and smack her with a wash. Your typical no. Maybe. We had a different one. Brown wash, we have a flesh wash. Alright, we're going to do... Normal is more for armor and stuff, so I think we're going to switch over to the Agrax. Earthshade. Honestly, I don't want to... I really just want to use it for the... Let's get another brush real quick. For the apron. Because I really like the way that dress turned out, honestly. Okay, so we're just going to fray that a little bit. Touch it and let it go. I don't know, man. Again, it's always just do it. right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that wraps us up. Ooh. Careful with washes. Okay. I gave her apron a little bit of life with a wash, and her hair I hit with the wash a little bit too. The face and skin kind of got an after brush of the wash. Like I didn't re-dip for it, but here we are. Here's our final product. I'll put a list of the paints that I used down in the description. But here we are. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little something. I know it was a lot quieter than the terrain building. Again, just a little more focused, a little easier to get sucked into it. So, nothing against y'all. Just try it and you'll see. Until next time, keep cooking, boys. No, that ain't gonna work. Just keep cooking. I think keep cooking. So, all right, until next time, keep cooking. Because we're Chef Boy. I mean, you know, I'm the chef. Y'all are the sous chefs. You know what I mean. I'm head. Anyway, all right.